I'm gonna talk about the Cisco proprietary weight attribute. So Cisco proprietary meaning that you can't use it with other vendors. For example, Juniper, Arista, and other vendors. So it is locally significant, meaning that when you configure it on a router, it's not going to be communicated through other routers. So let's take a look at the topology here. So let's just assume that we have an enterprise network with an AES of 65010, and we have a border router R2, and we have a couple of ISPs, ISP1 and ISP2. So so let's see, by default, if you go to R2 and do a show IP BGP, all the BGP attributes are set to default. So for example, metric, local preference, weight, path are going to be set to default. So actually, in this scenario, if you go to R2 and do a show IP BGP, those parameters that I just mentioned are going to be set to default, and in this case, it's going to come down to which router has a lower router ID. So in this case, it's going to be ISP2. It's got an IP address of 192.168.1.2. So R2 is going to prefer this link because ISP2 has a lower IP address. So what we want to do is influence the outbound traffic. So, and we can use weight to do that. The configuration is kind of simple. We just have to create a route map and set the weight to a higher value than 0, and apply that route map to the neighbor, and it should be inbound. Yeah, it should be inbound to to influence the outbound traffic or outbound path selection. So let's take a look at the configuration itself. So this is router. I just written the commands. So here, router map weight. This is the name of the router map. So this should be in the of course global configuration. So router map weight. This is the name of the router map, and set. We are gonna set the weight to 100 because by default it is set to 0. The routes that router 2 has learned are gonna have a weight of 0 by default. So here we are setting them. We are setting the weight to 100, and then you just have to go into router BGP and the BGP process ID. In this case, autonomous system. In this case, 65010. So router BGP 65010, and of course the neighbor that you're gonna apply the the route map on. So in this case, this is the neighbor because we want to select this this higher bandwidth here. I mean the link with higher bandwidth. So in this case, this is 1 gig, and this is just T1. And by default, router 2 is using this link with lower bandwidth, which is not scalable. So we want to select this path here because it's got a higher bandwidth. So neighbor and the IP address of the neighbor, in this case 192.68.1.6, and this is how you apply the route map, and this is the name of the route map, and there should be dash here, and you should apply it in the inbound direction because you are trying to influence the outbound traffic. So once once you are done configuring this, you just have to save the configuration, of course, and then for this change to take effect, you have to do a clear IP BGP and the IP address of the neighbor. In this case, .16 here. We are trying to select again this path and soft and inbound direction. So if you do this, this is not gonna tear down the TCP session with this. R2 is not gonna tear down the BGP session with its neighbor. In this case, .6, because we are using this keyword here, soft, and of course the direction, which is inbound. So once this is done, it's gonna have the change to take effect. Once you have made this, the change is gonna take effect, and then you just have to verify that R2 is choosing this path here by doing a show IP BGP, and you will see that R2 is choosing this path here because the neighbor has a higher weight, which is 100 in this case. So this neighbor here is going to have the default 0. So yeah, that's how you would influence the outbound direction. The outbound traffic by using Cisco proprietary weight attribute. So in the next video, I would probably talk about local pref, which is a BGP attribute, it can be used by other vendors, not unlike weight, which, like I said earlier, can only be used with Cisco devices. So yeah, that's it in this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.